Tonight on DFI Magic Themes, who knows what's going to happen? Well, very good evening to you. Hope you're doing well. Better late than never, but technology for you. We're going to get going very, very soon. And who knows what's going to happen on tonight's live view. Anything can happen. First in the room tonight was Robert. I don't know how he made it first in the room. Followed by Barry, followed by Laurie, followed by Eric, Colin, Paul, Richard. We've got Chris and Sarah all in the room tonight. Good evening to you. Good afternoon. I tell you what, this time change has really thrown me off. Hello. Why did you Americans have to go and change the time again and throw me off completely, Robert?
Because you Europeans changed the sunlight.
Nothing to do with me and us Europeans. We didn't change a thing. I tell you, if it hadn't been for our meeting last night for the accountability program, I wouldn't have realised that the clocks had changed. I'd like last night, I sat in my lounge, relaxing. I've got an hour. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Robert messaged me, where are you? We're going live in 6 minutes. So I was sort of ready tonight, almost.
Well, you're getting closer anyways, right?
Yeah. It's only for the next couple of weeks, and eventually they change it back, don't they, Robert? Why they can't unify, I think I never know, but there we go.
Well, we're not going to change it for now, so we're just going to follow. So we're going to go with the punches. And,
yeah,
happy Friday, everybody, because I'll tell you, I don't even know what happened to last week. Last week went by so fast, and the amount of stuff that is getting done is amazing, but the amount of stuff to do is stacking up all the time. But tonight, it's about planning. And I want you guys to think about this. Whether you like hunting or you like fishing or sports or whatever, if you don't plan for the event that you're going to attend, let's say you want to go sport fishing for marlin, right? If you don't plan to have the right equipment, the right gear, the right timing, the right bait, right? You're not going to catch a marlin. And everything that we do has to be planned. You have to figure out what you're going to do and how you're going to do it before you do it if you're going to be successful. If you're going to be a crocodile hunter, do you need the biggest gun in the world? No. You can kill a crocodile or an alligator with a .22. But if you don't know where to shoot it, you're not going to win, right? There's only that one spot the size of a quarter that you can kill an alligator, no matter what size it is. And just these are things that come right into play with the internet marketing, come right into play with local businesses. They don't know how to plan for a website design. They don't know how to plan for social media marketing. They don't know how to plan for what they really need, right? So when they start talking to somebody about website design, they're hoping that this person can read that crystal ball in their mind, what they're thinking they want to have, but don't even know what it looks like. And without these plans, you can't start building. Without these plans, you can't figure out what your competition is going to be. And without these different things that you go through, it's very difficult to be successful, right? Because the internet is a live, breathing entity that's changing daily and faster than we can keep up with it. But yet, we have to. And we have to be, if we're going to be in our agency, that is, and we're going to be the internet experts, going to tell the local businesses what they need because they want to run their business. They don't want to run their website. And they want somebody to come in and tell them what they need and what they don't need, right? My neighbor came over. I didn't even talk to Stephen about this because I wouldn't even get involved with it. But he's the president of the HOA that I live in. And he says, we need to have a website. And I said, oh, okay. What's the issue? Now, I'm not even aware of what the issue is, right? He says, every time I have to do a mailing, it costs the association money because nobody will give us their email addresses properly. Nobody will communicate correctly. And if we had a website, it could be a portal of information that they could go to. And I said, yeah, they can, but are they going to? First of all, you can't make anybody do anything. Now, the good part is that he was saying, well, most people have a computer, but not everybody. I said, there might be a fraction of somebody that doesn't have a smartphone by now. Flip phones are gone, but there is that fraction of a fraction of people out there that may still have one. So he said to me, I just want to have the information there, and I wanted to do so. I said, okay, what are you asking me? Well, I want to know what you would charge. No, what are you asking me for the website to do? I said, before we even start talking about anything, I want you to go and find 3 other HOA websites that you like that has 80% of what you want it to do, and then we can talk. But I said, otherwise, you're assuming as a web designer that I can tell you what you want, and I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to start wasting my time on something that you don't even know what you want yet. And I said, as the president of the HOA, you should get your domain name registered and own it. That is the one piece of advice I'll give you right now, because you're going to start talking to a bunch of people that are going to own your domain name, and you're going to be in trouble before you even start. He said, well, would you be interested? And I said, well, I would be interested in advising you of what you can do and what you can't do, but I would not be interested in being part of, because what it will end up doing is it'll be a charity event, right? And I'll do it for free because it's my HOA, but then I'll be in trouble with all the people around me asking me things about what they should have and shouldn't have, and I don't want to go down that road. I live here, so I wouldn't be a part of it. So love to advise you, love to help you, but no, I'm not going to do it. And he was kind of puzzled. I said, it's not in my wheelhouse to do that for you. It's not what I do. So the roadmap, right? What you're going to go do. A lot of us have a lot of knowledge, a lot of wisdom, a lot of information. Stephen, through the School of Hard Knocks, right, learned all the stuff he knows on the tech side. I'm in this for 15 years, getting kicked, and the School of Hard Knocks is really a tough school to go to because it's expensive when you're not knowing what roadmap to take and what person to follow, who's going to really lead you to that end goal of where you want to be, right? And as you go through these things, wisdom tells you if you have enough money to have the right mentor, to have the right person guide you along the ways of where you want to go. But you have to know what you want to do and what you really want as your end game, right? If we don't have a plan, if we don't have that fishing trip set up with the right gear, the right captain, the right boat, the right weather, the right timing, right? We're not going to be successful in what we're going to go do. Can we throw a line in the water and maybe catch a fish? Yeah. If that's all you want to do. But if you really want to go out and you want to trophy fish for a marlin or a wahoo or whatever, you got to have the right bait, you got to have the right lure, you got to have the right even speed of the boat, right? It all matters when you're fishing. Same thing for us. We have to know our competition. We have to know the specifications of what we're going to do and what we're going to go after. And how are we going to beat our competition? Because if they're worth their salt, they're going to be tough to beat. In most cases, they're not doing all the things that we're doing. But what am I getting to here? Find a program. Find a program that tells you, teaches you what to learn, what to look for, what to start off with. And the difference of myself and Steven, where we're at now, right? And it's interesting because some people commented in the accountability program about this topic, that we forget a lot of the things that we learned along the way and forget to do them when we're creating our new sites. And we're all guilty of it. So having that checklist, having that procedural guide, step by step, to tell you what to go do and remind you of the things that you probably knew or heard of, but you just haven't done, or it's showing you the things that you may have missed before that you should do before you even start building, right? So having the roadmap, having the ability to have somebody help you get to those ABC steps of all the things that you need to put in place to build the right website, to make it rank and have the right related content, right? And have that step-by-step process with some parties, whether it's Steve and I or somebody else, that will help you when you get stuck. This is probably, and we said it from the beginning, if I'm lying, 1,000 times, tell me, but Stephen, we said the biggest asset for being involved with Done For You Magic Themes, the biggest asset for being involved with Stephen and myself is that we will support you the best that we can to get everything done. And in many cases, the support is not even the stuff that we're teaching on. Support is the stuff that hangs people up in between here in the thought process that is a mental roadblock that completely shuts them down because something won't do what I want it to do when I want it to do it. So therefore, I cannot proceed forward with anything else because I'm stuck and I can't get over this thing, this file, this picture, this video, this embed, whatever it is completely stopped you in your tracks. And you can't let that go because it's bothering the crap out of you to the point that I can't even move forward, right? Because it's a technical issue. In reality, it's a mental roadblock. You can still go forward. You can still push forward. Is it always the right thing to do? No. But sometimes to get to the end goal, Stephen and I, we're both exhausted. Okay, I'm going to say this, being transparent. We recorded probably 5 or 6 hours today of stuff back to back to try to get it done. Working on one of the things that we're trying to get done for a while, right? It's labor intensive. It's mentally draining to go through those things. And we were in the process, right? And we hit a snag. We hit a mental roadblock. And did we sit there for 4 more hours trying to get past that. No, we didn't. We said, let's bypass that one for now and let's come back around to it. And that's what we did. We went to the next section. We did the next section. And then my partner thinks like no one else that I know of. And I know how that works. And he went back to it and he fixed it because he's already thinking about it before he's doing it. But that's how he is. And we're not talking about Steven today because he's another whole subject. We don't have time.
As mad as a mad hatter.
But at the end of the day, right, we have to get over ourselves sometimes. We have to get over that something isn't going our way and get around it, you know? And this happens to everybody all the time. Personal story. I had a sprinkler pipe break in my yard. Usually not a big deal for me. But this one, I was ready to kill people because I couldn't get it fixed, right? It was a pipe that was rooted through 4 or 5 different oak roots that were 4 inches in diameter each. And they literally grew to the point that they pulled one pipe out of the other pipe. So I had to cut all the roots to even find the pipe, let alone to get to it to fix it. And I'm in there and I'm thinking I'm going to fix it real quick. And I didn't have the extra 4 hands that I needed to hold everything in place while I was trying to glue the pipes together. And finally, and it's not often, but I walked away swearing. I couldn't fix that pipe that particular day. I said, I'm going to kill somebody if I don't get away from this thing. So after 2 hours of working on it, I gave up. I said, I'll just have to come back tomorrow and look at it again and decide how I'm going to fix it. And that's what I did. So let it go, went back the next day, clear head, rethought the plan, started over again, made the repair farther apart so it was easier to get the parts in together. But sometimes when you're working too tight, you can't make the joints work. So long story short, I walked away. God, I was mad. So I walked away, cleared my head, went back, fixed it the next day and out from scratch. So this happens to all of us, and it happens to us in different things that we're always doing. And we get so wrapped up in the mental mindset of getting one thing done that we're stuck, we're stalled, and we don't have the answer. Now, for me, for Steven, we always had to go find it on our own. We always had to go somehow, somewhere to look for that answer, to get it for ourselves. So, me, I know my faults were, I never wanted to share. I never wanted to give anybody my secrets of what I was doing, right? Because I thought they're going to be my competition. Boy, was I wrong. I was so wrong about that because I would have been 5 years advanced further by sharing the information, by asking for help, by bringing people into the projects I had been working on, rather than try to do it myself and struggle so badly to waste all that time and effort. So the roadmap, the having part of your roadmap, no matter what it is, whether it's Done For You Magic Themes, whether it's the accountability program, whether it's whatever. If you don't have a support system, if you don't have a way to get answers, you're going to struggle. The fastest way to get from A to Z is get somebody on your side that knows more than you do and pull them in. How do you pull them in? You pay them, or you have some kind of association with them, or you have some kind of profit sharing with them. You do something to get the assets that you don't understand built. And this is in any business, right? If we don't do that, we don't take that leap of faith that we're going to get something done. And that's the other thing, mindset. Your mindset has to be, you are going to get it done. It's not going to be, I can't do it. I can't do it. No. If you're going to keep telling yourself you can't, you won't. You have to push forward. You have to get a support group. You have to get the help required. And that's what a roadmap is. if you've never fished for marlin in your entire life, you just go get a boat and say, I'm going to go marlin fishing. You usually pay a boat captain. You pay a charter captain to take you fishing because they know what they're doing. They've done it before. They're showing you how to do it, right? It's no different in web design, in web building, website building for a local business. Get the help you need and go forward with it. Grow your confidence. Know the action steps, right? Because from A to Z, if you miss the steps, is it world ending? No. Will it hurt you? It could, depending on what you missed. But at the end of the day, you put that plan together and you follow through and you get the help you need when you need it. So that's why we say, without a roadmap, you're lost. You really are. You have to have the direction. You have to have the goal, and you have to hold yourself accountable to it. That's why we put together the accountability program. It was really about making sure that anybody in our group, we were holding ourselves accountable to help them to get to their end goal. And that's why we put the whole program together. Thanks to Lori, who's on the call, because she said it helped me put all the pieces together that I didn't understand. I had a wealth of knowledge, but I didn't know how to connect them all together in one place. And that's what happens to most of us. I'm not going to say all, but pretty much it's all of us that have the same problems, have the same issues all the time, right? We all have the same 24 hours in a day and the same 7 hour or 7 days in the week. But certain people get things done faster. Certain people can move through the stuff at a completely different pace than myself. And that's okay. We have to work with the talents that we have, and we have to get the help that we don't know what to do with by going to somebody that has it. That's what our accountability program is all about. I'm sure we have a few people on the call that have been in the accountability program. And what I just talked about, does that resonate with any of you guys? Anybody want to come on the call and talk about that?
If you do, pop your virtual hand up, and we'll pop you up on the screen in a moment. While we're waiting, I want to share something on one of my screens as well. Give people a visual idea. So when everything to do with the accountability program is about buying a domain name, setting up your name server, set your hosting up, build your site. That can be the hardest part ever. DFI Magic Themes has done it for you. Add company data, social media, set up your social media channels, citations, find clients, and rent a site. And all the way through all of this, there's roadblocks every step of the way, as some of the people we'll bring up in a moment will tell you, that the way it happens is you buy a domain name, right? You have to look up how to set up the name servers, and you get all confused by it. When you finally suss that out, you'll work out how to set your hosting up. And if you've got past this, then you've got to build a site, and you've got to work out what content you're going to build on there, how you're going to design it. We've built sites with content that you can then use every time and change it to be whatever you want it to be. Our Magic Code Builder, you add the company data inside of our shortcode system, and it goes right across the site. Then we teach you how to do your social media channels, your citations, and then in our client finder program, we have ways of finding clients, and then you rent your site out. So this looks fairly straightforward, but for some people, even me sometimes, you'll come along here and then you'll have to go up to a new problem, and then another problem, then another problem. Eventually you get back to here, where then you can go on to building a site, and then you get a problem there. And these things drag out. Our support team, when I'm not available, is Robert and Greg, and they do a fantastic job with tickets. If they can't do them, they throw them back at me. And we hold your hand every step of the way, as the guys are going to say in a moment. So I'm going to stop sharing that. And if anyone's watching this and they want to check out more, go to dfimagicthemes.com. That's the best place to go to check out our program. I'm going to pop Laurie up first and ask you to unmute. and then we'll bring Richard up afterwards. Hey, Laurie, all right?
Hey there, yes, yes. Totally get what Robert's saying. I've built a few websites, and when I first joined the Dumpy Magic thing, you guys helped me with those forms. And I know Lane can appreciate this because he's going through the same thing. And the thing is, I know that I did it before, but when I got to this, it's like I completely spaced what I did, how I did it, and I want to be proactive. And so I try to find the answer. And, before I know it, I'm 4+ hours down the rabbit hole, reading stuff that I know I don't understand. And boy, did I get off the track. And I was so frustrated. I got up I stopped the damage I was causing. I got up and I went and I worked out. And I came back and at least I was level-headed, but I totally get it. And the good thing is I finally threw a support ticket in, and it's funny, you guys want us to do that because you want to know where we're at, where we're stuck. From my perspective, I really try not to do that because I know you guys are really busy, and I don't want to send in a support ticket that, God, Lori, it's right there. You just read it, it's right there. Because that's usually when you guys come back and tell me how to fix it, it's right there. I don't want to, bog you guys down with support tickets. But when I'm at my rope's end, I do. And I really appreciate you guys being there. You don't know the gold.
St. Laurie, we always say there's no such thing as a stupid question, number one.
Yeah.
Number two, don't spend hours and hours and hours trying to fix something. We've had people in the inner circle that have messaged me with a ticket. I've gone back with a Loom video, and they've gone, holy cow, I spent 3 days on this, and you've given us a video that is 5 minutes long, and I've gone click, and I'm done. Because sometimes the training isn't always there, because me and Robert are human as well. And so we go down through a routine of building stuff, and occasionally we miss steps, like Lane brought up the fact that we hadn't done any training on web forms. Yeah. So we're adding that to the VIP program. Very good example of that. So at the end of the day, don't ever be scared of opening a ticket, because if you spend, I always say, if you spend more than an hour on a problem, open a ticket, because you'll spend a lot more hours trying to find a solution than coming to us, where we can I can reach out to someone and go, what's going on here? All right. Right. It's never a problem. Don't ever worry about opening tickets, because even if, we've had tickets where I've gone, well, it's in the training, and we pointed someone back at the training, the right area, and they, how on earth did I miss that? Sorry. And we go, that's okay. Don't worry. This happens, or we've missed the training and we've added it ourselves. So don't ever worry.
One thing I'll say, Lori, and I appreciate what you said about you're not wanting to add to our workload. That's our highest priority first, and always has been, that we were going to take care of the support first. And I think today was actually the first time in all the time I've worked with Stephen that I said, no tickets. You cannot do tickets today. We have to get the recordings done, because day by day, week by week, we're getting farther behind on that project because we can't. Life is getting in the way too often, and we couldn't get to it. And our schedules are off by 5 hours in time zones. And we both have families and commitments and things going on. But at the end of the day, today was the first day I said, Stephen, no tickets. We'll get to them tomorrow. And that's not like us to do that. We want to do the support tickets first, and then we get to the normal work. So you're understanding that we get back to you when we can on them as soon as we can, and that's what we do. But sometimes for the gooder, that's the wrong word, for the good of more people, we got to get that project done, because they're going to be needing this project very soon, as we get into the VIP training parts, right? So we will get to the tickets and we will take care of your issues because your issues are kind of combining together and we'll get them all done at the same time.
Mm.
That's
Well, I
what's going to happen.
appreciate you guys.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
It's ditto here because we're a family. We're putting stuff together in a way to make sure that everybody's taken care of. Everybody gets to the end goal. But the roadmap part, it's so clear to me, especially after doing the accountability program myself, is the stuff that I've forgotten that I should be doing, I wasn't doing. But having those steps in play of doing it all in that same process, and I see it in other groups all the time. Does anybody have the cheat sheet of all the steps that you should do this? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know what? There probably are some, but there probably most of them are missing the steps or some of the steps. So at the end of the day, the important thing for people out there that don't know us is that you have to get involved with what we're talking about. It's very important to have a mentor, a coach, a program, a support background system of some sort that can help you get your answers. And if you think it's on YouTube, don't get me wrong, because I use YouTube all the time. YouTube helps you fix things,
Mm-hmm.
and there's great content, but does it give you everything? And how much time do you spend to get to the real correct answers? Because most people aren't giving it away.
Right.
But as far as repairs, car repairs, appliance repair, I've used YouTube videos to fix stuff that I didn't know what to do with. But that's my mindset, and that's what I will do. Just go on YouTube and I have an older truck that my father gave me, and it started acting like the transmission was going to fall out. And I was like, I don't want to put the transmission in this thing. It's only got 150,000 miles. It's 20 years old, but so I YouTubed it. And damn it, if it was a little electronic part that controls the idle of the transmission when it shifts, replaced it, $35, works perfect. But that's YouTube, those are the things that you're going to find. But with what we do and the wisdom and the experience, that's what people don't understand. That's what the local market people, the business owners don't understand. They just throw up a website and I'll get 1 million views and I'll have so many clients and it should only cost me $50.
Right.
That's the mentality. They just don't know what it takes.
Yeah.
And that answer, like I gave the HOA guy, was you find me 3 HOA websites that you really like, at least 80% of what they have, then we can replicate something or find the service that does it. But don't assume I'm gonna read your mind and give you what you want, because the website is going to be designed for what it needs to do.
Yeah.
But thank you, Lori.
Yep.
Your ideas and your expressions of what you get out of certain things help guide us to create stuff that helps you guys. And we keep doing that, and we will continue to do that. But we're going to finish the projects we have open first.
Yeah. And Laurie, do you know my favorite time of all was that time when we did a call, right? And you turned around and said, right, that thanks to our training, you now understand WordPress and you've been able to, we know you built your own site off the back of our own themes.
Mm-hmm.
And that was such an exciting moment to see that light bulb moment happen for you. And how you've grown since you've been with us is absolutely amazing and exciting. And I'm looking forward to seeing what happens for you in the future. It's going to be fantastic. So thank you for your kind encouragement.
One add-on to that. Lori takes action, as most of the people in our group do. And Lori always has the trust and the leap of faith to move forward.
Mm-hmm.
It's not doubt. It's, I will do this. I'll do it till I understand it and I'll move forward with it. And that's what Lori does. And that's what you have to do to be successful. You have to say, I'm going to finish this. I'm going to get it done. I'm going to get the help I need when I need it. I'm going to turn in the support ticket and we're going to walk through it. And when Lori joined us, she didn't know us from Adam. She
Nope.
just didn't. But she has that trust in us to help her, and it's been a great relationship ever since.
Yep, I agree.
So
Thank you, Laurie, as always.
thank you,
Thank
Lori.
you.
Richard.
Let me remove Laurie from spotlight a second. Ask Richard to unmute. He should be done mute now.
Yep, that should be.
How you doing, Richard? You all right?
I've had a bit of a hard time regarding my health with this virus, with this long COVID, but that's boring now. That's 2 and a bit years, so I could just do what I can do. But just picking up really, because I might have been sort of away from it, or you might have thought I have been down a rabbit hole. But just 3 things. First of all, picking up on what Robert said about you two having my back, which is absolutely fantastic. So even though maybe I've had my eye off the ball a little bit, it's always nice to know that we've got you two and the rest of the team behind. But I've picked up 2 clients in the last 2 weeks, and it's just by referrals, which has been quite good. But just like you said, Robert, about somebody's got in touch regarding their website being put up by an all singing, all dancing company in e-com, and they thought it would be on page 1 of Google. So that's why they've got in touch. But the second thing is that I got another client who's in the cleaning business. So finally, I've got somebody who I can rent a site from one of the Done For You websites.
Nice.
Now, this is the rabbit hole that I went and fell in. I started following the training, changed from the agency build and went to cleaning and needed to change it from the general corporation cleaning site into a biohazard cleaning site, and realized that the editing was going to take me far too long, to be quite honest. So I'm going to go back to the agency site and start to catch up, because my agency site already has the citations, has the social media built in. So I'll start on that or complete a bit more, and then I'll submit it, because I agree with you fully. You've got to be accountable, and I'm openly being accountable to everybody to say that I'm getting back on the horse. But I've had a couple of clients who are not playing the game, and so this is the other thing, that you get tied up, and as you start to become a little bit more successful, you start to get tied up in the wrong places, or I am, and I need a little bit of support from others to get me through this, because you can't do it all by yourself. So I'll be coming back to you both, Stephen and Robert, please, regarding some branding for a client advice who's starting to spent too much of my time, if you see what I mean, and not pay me. And
what we're going to do, Richard, is hold the fort, okay? Because what we'll do in a minute, we'll go to the inner circle, and we'll carry on talking a little bit about this, because I think this is a good subject to talk about what to do when a client's taken up too much time. And I've got lots of good ideas for you there. So let's not share that with all the other groups. That's inner circle golden nugget moments we're going to share with you in a moment. So we'll bring you back up. But just generally, I should unmute one more time. The training you've been through, how you found it?
Very, very detailed. And to be quite honest, I didn't realize how much I didn't know. So it's been very good, and I've had to replay bits and go back through, and that's what I got tied up with on this other site, to be quite honest. And especially doing the editing, and because I was learning so much. So I want to go back to my own agency site, so I know that inside and out, and really get that, because I had a look at it and it's not ranking, it's not doing anything, because I changed it from the old build to the new build. And I want to have that as one of my flagships, because the flagship is a site that I built before it was really Done For You, and I built that. And I'm also building one now with another WordPress setup, but I'll be using what I've learned. And also I want to use the MCB and the Page Generator Pro, my MLB, on the site, even though it's not a done for you site. So you take these skills elsewhere, but very comprehensive. And that's why I wanted just to be open and accountable to say, I appreciate I'm behind everybody else, but there's some good reasons and some maybe lack of focus, which I'm being open and honest about.
You know what? Being accountable is talking about
I must
being
get to explain about some social media backup, because again, as I say, I can't be doing everything, and I've got a few clients now, so things are good, but they're not as good as they should be.
Yeah. You know, the number one important thing in business, do you all know what it is, Richard?
Get paid.
There's a more important thing than that, and that is, we got to go to the inner circle. Bad luck. If you want to find out what's going on in the inner circle, go to dfymagicthings.com/live for you.